Voila! Welcome back to the Ben Stash Show. I'm your host, Ben Stash, and today we are talking financial literacy. I've got my brother in the studio, Mr. Malusi Zulu, who is a financial consultant. He has worked with so many big financial institutions in South Africa. And my brother, you are not a guest. You are at home here. Feel at home. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
No, I'm okay.
When last we saw each other?
Physically, I think it's been 2 years now, if not more.
No. It can't be 2 years. Has it been that long?
Yes.
Why?
We speak over the phone most of the time. So.
Wow, it's so sad.
Yeah.
I'm feeling, but I don't think it's 2 years, eh? Did we meet after COVID?
No, I don't think so.
I'm shocked.
Because I remember the one client that you referred to me, it was shortly after COVID. So
yeah,
it has been that long.
It has been that long, eh?
Yeah.
You know that I love you, Mas. You know that I appreciate you.
Yeah.
How many times have I told you that?
Many times.
1,000 times. That means I mean it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And you and I have taken trips across South Africa and even outside SA. Which trip would you like to mention?
I think I can mention two. The first one was Free State.
Free State.
Yeah.
We went to Free State.
Yeah, that's because I was speeding so high.
Yeah, no, you are a speed freak.
Yeah.
That's one be told. And I remember group each time is hamba now, because I mean we will convoy. They go like umbheke kuzulu uzulu akafuna ukulandela umuntu nangu uzulu nango pastor sikutshelile when there you go shwi, you know.
Yeah. The funny part is Free State, the road is a bit steep.
Yeah.
And the polo on steep roads.
Yes.
It's doing its thing. So
yes, and
I enjoyed that.
and by then you were driving a Polo and I was driving a Mercedes. Do you remember that? CLC? And then I will say, I'm driving a Mercedes, he's driving a Polo, but he's driving faster than I can, you know. And Swaziland, do you remember when we went to Swaziland?
Yeah.
Can we say shout out to Swaziland? Shout out to Swaziland.
Hello,
Swaziland. We'll be coming, doing this very show on the shores of Swaziland.
And it was actually my first time being outside of South Africa.
I'm glad I took you out. I'm glad I took you out of South Africa. You know, most people in South Africa don't even have a passport.
No.
They think a person who must have a passport has to be a foreigner. Even us, we need our own South African passport so that we can go to other countries.
But, you know, let me tell you how I got my own passport.
Yes.
It's like a joke. I was having marital problems. So we were planning to go and get a prayer somewhere. So I had to get a passport and get an injection. If you remember in those areas, Prophet T.B. Joshua,
oh my God,
was the man for the solution.
And so you were about to fly to Nigeria.
Yeah,
that was the plan.
Exactly.
So you were looking for solutions elsewhere.
Look, when you have too much problems, you look for solutions anywhere and everywhere.
Sure.
I had to do everything that I needed to do to save what I had, but you know what happens.
Wow, that's
Life
wonderful.
Happens, you know.
Well, I know you love education. Every now and then you are qualifying. Now I got this qualification. Now I have this degree and stuff. But I know that your passion for real is on finances.
Yes.
And you've been doing that. But prior to your tertiary, let's look at Mr. Zulu.
Yes.
Ekhaya High School, Akula.
Okay, I'm from KZN. At home, we were actually 12, from my mom and my dad. You know, back in the days, people didn't mind making babies.
I love that. 12 is the number.
But now Two before me passed on, and two after me passed on.
Oh, sorry about that.
So we are now 8.
Okay.
And now both my parents are late.
Yes.
My mom and dad. Yeah, the last one was my mom. She died of breast cancer.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. That was the most painful experience.
Sorry about it.
But yeah. So it was nice growing there at home with my siblings. We were always competing amongst each other.
Okay.
I remember my older brother, during his time in his matric, he was in the top 3. And my second brother also did the same thing. So I was under pressure to do the same thing. And I also did the same thing as well.
Wow.
And my 2 younger brothers that came after me, they had no choice but to be in the top 3 for the school for their matric. So
okay.
that's how we used to compete at home.
And then the financial journey?
Now, this is what happened. When I completed my matric, my brother was doing BCom accounting in the University of Western Cape. My mom called me and said, look, I don't have money to take you to school. So you're going to have to join your brother. My older brother was selling socks and wallets at taxi rank.
Okay.
So I said to myself, okay, maybe I can try. I went there one day to sell the wallets. I couldn't even sell even one.
Okay.
I said, okay, this is not my thing.
This is not me.
Now, my sister made a mistake. In December, she gave me 350. And I took that money, I kept it. In January, from home to Durban, it was 150. I used that money to go to Durban to look for a school. So I found UNISA, and I didn't know that they don't have lectures. So when I finished registering, they told me, you're going to start by yourself. I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah, how is that possible?
Yeah.
So you thought, now I enrolled with a varsity, so I'll be a full-time student and not with UNISA.
And the funny part is, when I asked them, what is UNISA? They said, it is the University of South Africa.
Yeah.
I was so happy, but how come the University of South Africa doesn't have lectures?
Yes.
You know, so, but anyway, I'm just cutting the long story short. I registered for BCom because accounting was my first love. I've always loved accounting. Even if you look at my matric certificate, the highest percentage is on accounting.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always loved numbers. And not only to be an accountant, but I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
The purpose for me doing accounting was not to work for someone.
Okay.
It was to do my own thing.
All right.
I remember when I was writing my plan in matric, I said I want to be a CEO.
Oh, that's great.
And then today I'm a CEO of my own company.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, please do tell us about the qualifications you acquired. Because recently I've seen that you also registered with some bodies and you got your accreditation. Take us through that journey.
Okay, so I did my BCom with UNISA. Because I was working as an accountant for Sanlam at the time. I was lucky to get a job while still working. I mean, I was
still studying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I completed my studies, we had a bit of a hassle at work. I was gunning for the senior accountant position, but I couldn't get it. And I was discouraged. And this other manager comes to me. He was honest. I don't know, but I'm going to say this anyway.
Yeah, say it, yeah.
He says, look, Marisa, I'm going to be honest with you, man. You were our strongest candidate. And I'm like, why didn't I get a job? He said, you're black.
Wow.
I looked at him in the face. He said, no, I don't want you to think you failed. You didn't fail.
Wow.
You're competing against white.
Wow.
So we were in the passage. I went straight to my desk. I took my bag.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter. I went to HR. I said, I'm out of here. They said, you can't do that. I said, watch me. So I walked. And the funny part is, when I was about to get to the gate, I get a call from ABSA. This gentleman calls himself Faisal now. He says, would you like to be an advisor? I'm like, what is that?
What is that?
And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, could it be the ladies from the HR that told this guy that I just resigned?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that.
No,
it was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
So, they invited me to come for an interview. When I get there, they said, no, we can't interview you. You got a job. I'm like, okay. We are going to train you as a financial advisor. So for me to be a financial advisor, remember I've got a BCom accounting degree. I have to now do a higher certificate in financial planning so that I can do financial planning.
Okay.
So I had to enroll with Mill Park Business School. I had to do my higher certificate in financial planning. And I had to also go to Moonstone and write my RE exams.
What is Moonstone?
Moonstone is it's a college for financial students
Okay.
that need to do the accreditation, because you can't give financial advice to people or clients without that RE.
Oh, okay.
You can have a degree, but
Yeah.
it doesn't allow you to give financial advice.
Yeah.
You have to have that specific accreditation for it.
Yeah. You also work for Standard Bank, am I correct?
Yes. So from ABSA, I was approached by Old Mutual.
Oh.
I was headhunted.
Wow.
It was the nice thing. And in October, I got my first big fat check. It was 50K.
Wow.
I was so happy.
But you never shared a cent with me. You never shared a cent with me.
Yeah. But now, here's the funny part. For the first 3 months, I was getting this fat check.
Mm-hmm.
And then reality strikes on month 4. I have to be on commission. I've never been on commission before in my.
Oh.
I look at my pay slip on month 4 and it's less than 2,000. And I asked them, what happened? They said, no, you didn't make any sales. I said to them, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a financial advisor. They said, no, financial advisory goes with sales.
Huh.
I was like, okay, this is not my thing. I just left the job.
Yes.
I stayed at home. Luckily, again, I get a call without applying for a job from Liberty Life.
Wow.
They said, you have an interview with our sales manager. I'm like, what interview? They said, just come through. When I got there, Neo was very honest with me. He said, Malusi, look, this is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to give you a desk. I'm going to give you a laptop. And I'm going to give you a landline. What you do with these 3 is design your own check.
Okay.
I said, is that possible? He said, look at these people here. They're driving nice cars.
Yeah.
They're designing their own check every month.
Yes.
So I said, let me try it. That's when I had to move from the flat and live at your house at that time.
Yes.
I was studying at Liberty. There was a change in lifestyle. So, but to cut a long story short,
you know why? I'm getting all these memories, and I cannot help but just to laugh. Yeah, it was beautiful. And there's something that people don't know about you, is that you are a musician. You play keyboards, you know,
yeah.
and that is what you do as a hobby. And I remember I even drove to Liberty, to your office. Unfortunately, you were not there. And then Standard Bank came later.
Okay, so at Liberty, I was also doing well. I've got awards and rewards for my achievements. So
Great.
again, what Old Mutual did to me,
Yeah.
Standard Bank did to me. Remember, Liberty and Standard Bank, they are sisters. So a manager from Standard Bank heard about me, and he came to me. I ignored him. So the other day, this other lady was going for an interview. I accompanied her. And this guy sees me sitting there by the couch and says, aren't you Malusi? I'm like, no, I'm Malusi. He says, I know about you. And then he explains to me the Standard Bank program. I found it to be very interesting compared to Liberty, because he said I was going to sit in a suit and they're going to bring clients to me. Because at Liberty, it was the opposite. I was going out to clients.
Okay.
I remember this other time I was in Pretoria and my car was taken by the police. When I came back, I had to check.
You parked wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I looked for my car, couldn't find it until this other gentleman said, no, it was taken by the police.
It was towed, yeah.
So based on those experiences, I said, look, I can appreciate sitting in a suit and doing the same thing and getting paid.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought, even cost is cutting costs for me. But it was the worst decision ever.
And so, I mean, let us now address financial ignorance amongst people. What do you think is our weakest?
Let me start like this. You see, every parent who wants their child to be the best in anything, they send them to the best schools. Anyone who's sick, they'll ask for the best doctor in town.
Yeah.
And anyone who's got a case that is very big and that is bothering him, they'll ask for the best lawyer. But now when it comes to finances, people, they think they are the jack of all trades.
Okay. In fact, you're telling me that we think we can do our books, we can file our taxes, and it shouldn't be so.
It shouldn't. Like, to be honest with you, I've never had a client who was going around asking for the best accountant in town.
Okay.
Most of my clients that I met them because they've run into hot water with SARS, or there is an investor, a potential investor or an institution that wants to give them finance, but they need a letter from an accountant. I remember I met this guy who's been in business for 7 years. He says, can you quickly draft me a letter? I have a tender that I'm supposed to receive. I'm like, but why can't your accountant do it for you? He says, I don't have an accountant. I'm like, you've been in business for 7 years. He says, yes, but I don't have an accountant. You see,
I think I can tell you why we don't keep accountants. Aren't you guys expensive? Aren't you guys expensive? Like your services. That's what comes to mind whenever we think about accountants. You know, then you see tax consultation or whatever, then you go like, my God, how much am I going to pay? Can you please take that thing out of our minds?
okay, here's the thing. Right now you're wearing this coat. It's not everyone who's got that coat. It was tailor-made to suit you.
Yeah.
It's the same with accounting services. People, they think we've got one big price for all our clients. No, you come to me, like for me, I'll tell you my minimum fee is this. But when I review your business and I realize you make so much, then I have to make a fee that is according to your income. Imagine I say to you, my services are 5,000 rand per month, and you are making 20,000. I'm
That's
already
killing.
crippling you.
Yeah, sure. That's
So
killing.
I have to now tailor make my own fee to make sure that you don't feel the pinch of having an accountant.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like accounting fees are tailor made. That's what most people don't know.
Oh,
They are
accounting
not
fees are tailor-made. They're not standard.
They're not standard.
So they differ according to a client. The bigger the client, the higher the fees.
Exactly. And the lower the client.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've got people like you come to me and I have to file your taxes. Like you didn't have business for the entire 3 months.
Yeah.
I'll just charge you a consultation fee of 500 rand to just make sure you are up to date and in compliance with SARS.
And so how can people understand SARS? Yeah, because I think everybody, when you think of SARS, there is that fear inside of us, you know, they're thinking SARS. And I think the reason is we don't do bookkeeping. And now when it's time for returns, we think you can dodge SARS. And the truth is you just cannot.
Okay, let me start like this. The biggest issue here that I'm seeing with a lot of clients is compliance. And compliance is a cause of lack of good bookkeeping. Look, if you've got a business and it's already running, spending an extra income and extra time to make sure that you've got a proper functioning system in your company will save you a lot of money and time. Now, when you do bookkeeping, you just make sure you have right records for you as a company. Come time for you to file the taxes, you know which expenses to be deducted to reduce your taxes and stuff like that. But now people, I have, like I can make an example for you. They'll come to me with a 12 months bank statement, put it on my table, please do my taxes. I go through the bank statement, I see 100 withdrawals. I start asking questions. What were these withdrawals for? They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah. So like a simple example, most of the guys that I do, they in construction. They just say, no, we were buying material. That's not enough. If today you withdraw 1,000 rand because you want to buy sand, record somewhere I withdrew 1,000 on the 8th of September to buy sand. So that when I come as a bookkeeper, I can allocate that amount appropriately. So that
And keep your receipts.
Yes.
And keep your receipts. We don't keep receipts.
No, people don't.
And that becomes a problem because with your declaration, you need evidence.
Supporting documents. Yes.
Supporting documents. And those supporting documents, like your receipts, if they are not in place, whatever you say can be objected.
Yes, yeah. Like, simple example, VAT is most of the time invoice based.
Okay.
So if you're going to submit your VAT we need to make sure that the invoices that you mentioned in there, you can access them if SARS says, give us supporting documentation. So what I always say to clients, look, if you bought something, do yourself a favor. Take a photo of it if you don't have a scanner. If you have a scanner, scan it and save it somewhere.
Oh.
Because these receipts and these invoices, they either get lost or sometimes you still have it, but it fades
They wipe,
away.
yeah,
Okay.
they wipe
So
off.
the best way, just the minute you buy something, just take a snap, send it to yourself, and save it on somewhere in the computer.
I love that. Can I say this? Mr. Malusi, a financial consultant, says when you make purchases, take a picture of your receipts and send them to yourself, perhaps in the form of an email. By so doing, you always have records of your receipts.
That's correct.
And what are the complicated scenarios or cases that you dealt with?
Like right now, I'm faced with a big one. I won't mention names.
Yes, there's no
But
need.
the client came to me. He's got a big bill that he needs to pay. It's 1.9 from SARS.
1.9 million?
Yes.
That is owing SARS?
Yes. And that is because of VAT. Now, as I was busy trying to fix this case,
Yeah.
I realized that most invoices are not there.
Oh my God.
So I said, look, on this month you overstated. Please rectify. And they asked for supporting document. So whoever was doing that didn't have the supporting document. And now they couldn't rectify that. And now here's the thing. With SARS, they give you a specific time. If you miss this time, then interest and penalties, they come in. So that's how the guy, it kept on accumulating. This is a matter that happened 5 years ago. So it's been accumulating over the years. Another one that I have also, I'm busy with right now, the person didn't file their personal taxes for 11 years.
Oh.
And then
Whoa.
SARS came in with a big bill. And the worst part is that now, not only did they say you owe us this much, they are garnishing the guy from his salary
Oh.
directly.
Oh.
So before it hits his bank account,
Yeah.
already SARS has already taken their own portion.
Yeah.
So that's the problem of not taking care of your finances. I always say to people, look, there's your employer,
Yeah.
and then there is SARS, and you're a middleman. The employer takes money away from you, and they say to you, we gave it to SARS. At the end of the year, you must check if what they say they gave to SARS is correct or not.
Yeah. With the IRP5?
Yes.
Okay.
You do your returns. So you go to an expert, okay, you can come to people like me and say, look, I've been working for the past 12 months, and they gave me this IRP5 to say they paid so much tax. Is it true? So my job as a tax practitioner is to say, look, let me check. I check for you whatever was paid by the employer to the SARS is correct or not. If they overpaid SARS, then SARS must pay you back your money. If they underpaid SARS, I need to find out why. Simple example, people, they work for a company and at some point they do overtime.
Okay.
And that overtime tax is not paid over. So you've been doing overtime throughout the year.
Yeah.
Come here and you owe SARS because that overtime tax was not taken care of.
Oh, okay.
And people, they complain, no, we are paying our taxes every month, but that overtime. So if you are a person who's working overtime, there's another thing that you need to do. You need to make an arrangement between you, the employer, and SARS. And that onus is on you. It's not on the employer, it's not on SARS.
So in other words, everybody has a responsibility to take when it comes to their status with SARS.
Yes.
Like myself, it is my responsibility to make sure that I am in good standing with SARS. And that happens through tax returns. I think right now, as we speak, it is that window.
That period, yes.
Yeah, it is that window whereby tax returns are open. They open and close. When are they closing?
Normally we close in October, and they give an extension for e-filers who are doing it online to the end of November.
And most people now think they can just easily dive to e-filing. What advice would you give when it comes to e-filing?
You see, Now, the problem is people, they think because I can add this and subtract that, I'm now a pro.
Okay.
Each and everything that is done has got a specialist in it. Like when you're doing your taxes, just because you can navigate your SARS system, it doesn't mean that you've got...
You understand it fully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you still need to consult a professional for that. It's just like when you are sick. I might have flu and go to the pharmacy and get myself medication.
Yeah.
But there might be a problem that I didn't treat it properly. I still need to see a GP who can diagnose me correctly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the tax problem. People, they think because they have access to e-filing, they can do it.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
And also, I mean, with financial consultants, I don't think it's everybody who can do taxes.
No, it's not.
Please tell us who is the right candidate to do my taxes.
Okay, I think I was going to say that at the end. You know what? I know people don't respect us as accountants anymore. And I don't blame them. Considering the problems that I'm solving all the time. These guys, they say they are tax practitioners, but they, number one, they are not registered.
Okay.
They're not registered with SAIT, which is the South African Institute for Tax Practitioners.
Yeah.
They're not registered with CYBA, where I belong.
Okay.
The Southern African Institute for Business Accountants. They're not registered with CYPA. They are not registered with SICA. So if you want someone to do your taxes, they must be registered with one of these four institutions.
Oh.
It's SAIT.
Yeah.
It's CYBA.
Yeah.
It's CYPA.
Yes.
Or SICA, because we are accredited.
Okay.
Another thing is, if someone wants to assist you as a person, ask for their practice number. Then call their body to confirm if these people are authentic or not. Because most guys are calling themselves tax practitioners, they don't have practice numbers. Most guys, they call themselves accountants, they don't have practice numbers. The most important thing is to first, before you give someone your work, identify them.
Yeah.
I always say to my clients, when most of my clients, they find me on Google.
Okay, on Google, right?
Yes, and Facebook.
Okay.
And some of them, it's word of mouth.
Okay.
So I always say when I speak to them, look, if you want to confirm if I'm authentic,
yeah,
you can call cyber, and I give them my cyber number. My cyber number is 7973.
What is your page on Facebook?
My page is Malusi Africa Zulu on Facebook.
Malusi Africa Zulu. And the name of your company?
My name of my company is Luso GT Accountants. Luso GT Accountants.
Luso GT Accountants.
Yeah, you can also find it on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so what are the legal implications of non-compliance?
Okay, now if you are not compliant, number one, your business cannot trade. Simple example, if you are going to be doing business in South Africa, you need a tax clearance. So if you are not compliant with either CIPC, you have to always, okay, there's another thing that I picked up with a lot of people. They can do tax returns for SARS, but they cannot do tax returns, annual returns for CIPC. You find that the company is now in deregistration process because for the past 8 years or 9 years, they've never filed their annual returns for CIPC. So with CIPC, you do not only register a company. You register a company, every year if your company is not trading, you pay 100 rand. And that must be allocated.
Oh.
Okay. If you are trading, then whatever amount you're going to pay to CIPC is based on your turnover.
Mm. So in other words, you saying to me, SARS is taxing you and CIPC is also taxing you for your whatever, what you call this?
Okay, I cannot say CIPC is taxing you.
It is a tax. If if they take money from me, what do you call that? It is taxation. What is it?
Okay, it's like me. I belong to cyber.
Yeah.
So I pay that fee that keeps my license active, because if I cannot pay my license fee, I cannot trade.
Annually?
Annually, yes.
Wow.
We pay every June. So I must pay my 5,000 every June to be active as an accountant. It keeps growing by 10% every year.
Oh my God.
Hence, our services are not for free.
And so what happens if maybe you are not able to make mints? Because I don't think every accountant is successful out there.
I'm in a position to answer that because the first years of my practice, I was suffering. I didn't have clients.
Okay.
You have to do first CPD. 50% of those CPDs they can give you for free, but 50% of those you must still pay from your pocket to buy the material that you need to study and write assessments to prove that you were doing continuous learning in this field, because with us information changes each and every time.
Yes.
The second one is the licenses. So I was unable to trade with my license because I didn't have money at that point to pay for my license. So that's the downside of it.
And so you were owing that body.
Yes.
Because you haven't paid for 2 years.
Exactly. And for me to be active, I had to pay for both.
And
yes.
Because now I know, I can do the maths. So you were owing something like 10,000 rand.
Yes.
For you to be active again.
Yes.
You had to pay 10,000 rand,
Plus,
of which you did not have.
Plus the money for the CPD points.
What is money for CPD points?
Okay, it's the material that you buy from the learning institution. At that time, it was South African. Okay, I forgot. It's SAAA. So we will buy some study material from them. We learn from it, and then we write assessments.
Okay.
You get a certificate.
Okay.
Then you need to submit that to your body to say, look,
yeah,
I've done this assessment. So it adds on your knowledge.
Okay.
So you have to accumulate those points. It depends. Some they give you 5 hours of worth, and some they give you 3 hours. So it must accumulate to at least up to 70 hours.
And so what would you say to upcoming small businesses? Because I think that is where the problem is. Everybody's diving into business and forget about this aspect.
Okay. Now, talking about business, we've got a small issue with business. There are 2 types of people who are going into business.
Okay.
According to me, and I had a conversation with my friends. There are those who either inherit the business, or who either come from a family that has a business background, a family that has been running a business.
Yeah.
Or those who are coming from a family that is well off.
Okay.
And they are starting into a business.
Okay.
Their struggles will not be the same as the struggles of a person who comes from a family that didn't have a business before.
Yeah.
That they don't have finance. Because when it comes to business, the most important thing is support. That's why most businesses don't succeed, because they don't have that emotional financial support from their families, friends, and anyone surrounding them.
Yeah.
So if you are going into business, you must know that the most important thing you're going to need is support. And the second most thing that you're going to need is your clients. You must know how to source clients.
Yes.
Because people, they go into business, but they don't know how the business works.
And also understanding the revenues in your business, that whatever you accumulate is not for you to spend.
Yes.
A chunk of it goes back to business.
Yeah.
And the overheads, because business has a lot of overheads.
Too much.
You are lucky if you have a business that does not run on overheads, you know. Yeah. So what advice would you give to them?
Okay, right now I'm dealing with youngsters, people my age and younger. I've been advising most of them, you know, because they're running businesses, they don't pay themselves salaries. They say, we're going to pay the rent, we're going to pay our staff, we're going to pay the basic overheads that we require to pay for our business to run, and the whole of that money that remains is ours. And business, it doesn't work like that. You must also know how much you earn. So pay yourself a salary, pay everyone else, and whatever remains then needs to be kept for the business. That's why in the in the balance sheet, we've got a portion there under the equity that says retained earnings. Most of these businesses that I've just made now do not have retained earnings.
Retained earnings. Can you please look at that camera and tell upcoming businesses to have what is called retained earnings?
Okay. It is very important when you're in business not to consume everything that you had. I remember when you look at the Bible says, please give 10% to God. I always say to these guys, it's either you keep 10% or whatever was remaining after you paying all the expenses as retained earnings. If you do that for at least 5 years, you won't need to go to the bank to apply for a loan, or you won't need anyone to come and try and sponsor you. You will be self-sufficient because you'll have enough financing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, I think we have learned that people must take financial records seriously. But do you guys have services whereby, okay, I am your client, so that I don't have to pay a lot. I just pay you this minimum fee every month for you to do my books. How, I mean, how is that working? Maybe if we can get that clarified, many people will be able to have accountants, because the accounting services will be much more reasonable and affordable. Let me not say reasonable, but affordable, rather than having to come and be charged this lump sum.
That's what I always advise my clients most of the time, to say, look, if you come to me end of the year and you want financial statements, I'm going to charge you more. And it's going to be coming to me at once, and you're going to feel it. So what we can do is we can say, I can do your management accounts on a monthly basis. I can do your taxes on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Because, simple example, a person who's registered for VAT, they either need to submit VAT monthly or bi-monthly. So that we can design a fee to say, look, you are doing so much per month, I can charge you so much. Are you comfortable with that? Because at the end of the day, you must pay me something that is reasonable to me and you are comfortable with it. Otherwise, if you are paying me something that you are not comfortable with it, come next year, you're going to run away from me. So we try to make sure that each and every fee is tailor-made to suit your needs and to suit my needs as well. But it is possible for you to have a client. Most of my clients, I put them on a retainer fee.
Okay.
I've got a few that come once in a while and say, I need this, I need this. But most of my clients, I put them on a retainer. The retainer includes a lot of things. Some of my clients, I do full accounting for them. That means I record transactions.
Yeah.
I pay their expenses. When they buy stuff, they need to notify me, and because I've got access to your bank account, I make those payments. Then on a monthly basis, I make those reconciliations. I sit down with directors. This is what happened. Okay. And some clients, they want me to do their pay slips for them. We also do payroll for them. So
Okay. What would you say to someone who is employed and the employer is claiming to be paying SARS and they don't? Because I think there are so many companies who are dodgy when it comes to that. I remember you said it is your responsibility.
Yes.
But what if they discover that? What must they do?
Okay, let me put it like this. First of all, it's something I didn't do when I was working, but I started advising people when I become a consultant to say, look, when you're employed by someone and they are deducting tax from you, they are deducting retirement from you, they are deducting UIF from you. On a yearly basis, they're supposed to give you a benefit statement.
Okay.
You need to know what are your benefits in the company. And because of ignorance, people, they don't ask for that. They only see their benefit statement either when they leave the company, or when there's something wrong that happened and then now they need to go to HR.
Okay, but benefit statements, can you please make an emphasis on this one?
Benefit statements.
Mr. Malusi says if you are employed and your employer is deducting either what you call retirement annuity,
UIF.
and UIF and tax, please request a benefit statement annually.
Yes.
So you got that from the Benster show. How lovely. I love it. Yes. So that means we're relevant. We are here, we're teaching, I mean, we're giving healthy information.
And like when there was COVID, most people were told that you can access your UIF.
Yeah.
For you to have some relief. And they got a shock of their lives.
They were not registered.
They were not registered. So if you are working for someone, please make it a point that you find out if you are registered or not. The other way you can do it, you can just get your benefit statement, give it to the
To your accountant, yeah.
and then you can check, or you can go to SARS yourself and check if these things are actually being paid over. Because they can deduct it and show it, because remember they make the benefit statement and payslip.
Yeah.
They might show it on the benefit statement and payslip, but want to find it's not there in the record.
Wow. Well, in conclusion, Mr. Malusi Zulu, thank you for joining us on the Benster Show. And I need to make this disclaimer that the relationship you had with your previous employer that was shared with us remained between you and them. We are glad we got to hear about it. That's all. And this is Mr. Malusi Zulu, who is a financial consultant and accredited consultant. Your numbers, please, for someone who might be looking for your services.
Okay, for someone who might be looking for my services, first of all, you can go to my website. It's www.lusogtaccountants. It's lusogtaccountants.co.za. You can get more information there, or you can send me an email, luso@lusogtaccountants.co.za, or you can phone me on my cell phone number 064 0414 058. Those are my contact details. Or you can check me on Facebook using my full names, Malusi Africa Zulu. It's the same for both Facebook and Instagram.
And somebody might think we are charging people to profile them on this show. How much did we charge you?
Nothing. Actually, I saw that the show is starting on your WhatsApp status update.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So now he's doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you give me a call, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I'm part of the podcast. Nothing was paid by me.
Yes, of course. We truly appreciate that. And we love our people. And we love businesses. In fact, whatever we do, it has to be empowerment.
Yeah.
We had Ubaba Umzwa Kembule on one of our episodes, and he said, I came here because this is a black-owned entity, and I have to support it. I have to put my name on it. Although I have a relationship with him outside this podcast, I mean, do you understand? Yeah. But, I mean, we truly appreciate that. And by so saying, we are inviting people with extraordinary stories. And if you've got a business adventure or whatever, come, let us share. We are not only chasing after celebrities, and celebrities are also welcomed, but we're looking at a broader scale of what we can cover. And thank you for watching the Benster Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, and share our videos. Until next time.